Mafia thugs bully a high school student.
What's this? Come on, have a drink.
He's forced to drink drugged water and kick him inside the locker. However, his class teacher directly intervenes.
Gentlemen, sorry for interrupting. I'm looking for my student.
The man bullying him was a UFC fighter. Looking at this skinny Chinese man, he mocked him as a weakling and advised him to obediently leave. The student cried out. The teacher stepped forward but was blocked by a group of men. With a light tap, it was transformed into a new kind of weapon. The student in the cabinet was stunned.
Any more? Come and get some.
The boxing champion on the side couldn't stand it anymore. He took off his shirt and charged forward, attempting to challenge Chinese kung fu. In the end, even the strongest fighter was knocked down by it.
Call an ambulance!
On his first day of class, the man was excited and surprised that the students prepared a great gift to welcome him. Doors opened, and a pot of boiling water fell from the ceiling. Stunned, all students expressed shock and surprise. It turns out the new teacher was a former United States Navy SEAL. He possessed skills not only in marksmanship but also in kung fu. Nowadays, he has retired and chosen to return to the school to become an ordinary teacher. However, the school assigned him to the most difficult class. It is said that 888 teachers had already been scared away by this class. In his eyes, they're just a bunch of kids. He certainly wasn't afraid. Early in the morning, he walked into the classroom with a cup of coffee and found students playing games, playing instruments, sleeping, and even cooking. But no one was ready for class. He walked to the boy who was sleeping.
Good morning!
Then, he wrote his Chinese name on the blackboard, Qin Xia, preparing to introduce himself. Behind his back, the students are laughing, commenting that his Chinese writing appears unprofessional. Suddenly, Qin Xia received a phone call.
Wait.
He turned around and noticed something. Without a word, Qin Xia picked up a rubber band and a piece of chalk from the podium. Then he squinted his eyes and took aim. He instantly soaked the group of brats like drowned rats. The first round of the battle between the teacher and the students ended with Qin Xia's complete victory.
Welcome to my class!
The students, unwilling to accept defeat, gathered together to discuss how to take revenge. The next day, Qin Xia came again, seeing the students weren't paying attention at all. He tried a different approach. He announced that anyone who could answer 3 of his questions correctly could leave the class and go play wherever they wanted. Knowing that the boy loved to smoke, Qin Xia asked him for a cigarette and raised the first question. What are the chemical components of a cigarette?
Any more?
The curly was shocked. Everyone thought the teacher was joking, but it turned out to be true. Seeing the curly bounce out of the classroom, the other students were eager to try as well. Next, Qin Xia asked the second and third questions. By the end of the class, the students understood the composition of cigarettes and learned about the harm they caused. This scene was witnessed by an education bureau leader who was inspecting the school. He sneered at Qin Xia's teaching method, believing that getting high scores was the most important thing. He even threatened the principal that if the students' test scores were too low, the school would be shut down. But Qin Xia didn't care at all. He believed good education is about making students happy to learn, actively think, and ask questions. Outside of class, he also cares about the students' personal lives. He will pay out of his own pocket to improve the lives of students from families in difficulty. For those with strained father-daughter relationships, he would specifically arrange racing games to help them express their love for each other and resolve their issues. When a student was bullied by thugs in the mafia, being forced to drink drugged water, this Chinese man directly intervened.
I don't want any trouble.
Ended up beating the hell out of them. Chinese man's heroic deeds were reported on TV. It was only then the students learned this new teacher was not only a former Special Forces soldier but also a big brother at the school. However, he was not a good student but a troublemaker at that time. He broke the nose off the principal's statue. In 1 year, he even ruined the entire graduation ceremony. The boy was playing the piano in the graduation ceremony. The boy chased after him. He picked up a broom to strike, but Qin Xia broke it with a kick. The principal's statue fell and landed right on the boy's hand. From then on, the boy could never play the piano again. Qin Xia was also expelled from the school. However, the principal still wanted to give him another chance and wrote him a recommendation letter to a military school in the United States.
You can do it.
After arriving in the United States and joining the military, Qin Xia realized that war could not bring happiness. It only involved relentless destruction and the loss of humanity. So, he retired and traveled the world to find the true meaning of life until one day he received a postcard from the principal. He decided to return to the school to become a teacher and nurture the next generation. After learning about the adventures of Mr. Qin Xia, the students' attitudes towards him changed dramatically. Even his colleague was eager to invite him to meals.
Good morning, class.
An extraordinary welcome greeted Qin Xia as he walked into the classroom. Qin Xia smiled, told the students to sit down, and asked who gave him the apple on the desk. Currently, the beautiful teacher from the neighboring class appeared.
Bye.
Qin Xia took a bite of the apple, and the students cheered below. The atmosphere was fantastic. In the following year, the students happily attended classes and studied hard, looking forward to getting excellent grades in the college entrance examination to achieve their dreams. However, on the day of the exam, a gang leader brought a group to the school to cause trouble, locking the students inside and preventing them from taking the test. Just when the students were at a loss, Qin Xia appeared.
Everybody okay?
Qin Xia fought the thugs while urging the students to hurry to the exam. He held back the thugs, but the gang leader showed him. Qin Xia pointed at him and asked why. The gang leader pointed to his left hand, urging him to think carefully. It turned out the gang leader was the little boy who played the piano at the graduation ceremony. He had come for revenge. Seeing he couldn't win, the gang leader resorted to dishonorable tactics, pulling out a weapon to attack Qin Xia. Qin Xia turned the tables, seizing the gang leader. Just when everyone thought he would stab, he aimed the knife at his own thigh, repaying the debt of the left hand from years ago. Before leaving, Qin Xia apologizes for the past incident. Currently, a wail of anguish came from behind. Did you know that Donnie Yen didn't just star in Big Brother, he also co-produced the film? His motivation stemmed from a desire to address pressing social issues in Hong Kong, particularly those related to the education system. Yen was also instrumental in casting fresh faces for the student roles, aiming to provide opportunities for emerging actors and bring authenticity to the portrayal of Hong Kong's youth. Subscribe for more Chinese television dramas, and don't forget to like this video, it really helps the channel grow.